In the headlines, controversy trails declaration and invalidation of Binani's victory announcement. INEC declares 28-year-old Akarachi Amadi winner of Mbaitoli Ikeduru Reps election. Aviation unions reopen section of Lagos Airport Road, says protest continues. And on the foreign scene, death toll in Sudan rises to 100 as fighting continues. Hello and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Sagir Ibrahim. Hello and welcome once again. Now the news in detail, starting with politics, where there is uneasy calm and growing tension in Adamawa State following Saturday's governorship election rerun. State Resident Electoral Commissioner Hudu Ari purportedly declared APC candidate Aisha Binani winner of the runoff poll without presenting the distribution of scores.
There was an easy calm and growing tension in Adamawa State following Saturday's governorship election rerun. State Resident Electoral Commissioner Hudu Ari purportedly declared APC candidate Aisha Binani winner of the run-up poll without presenting the distribution of scores.
You see, based on the poll, you cannot. Based on the poll, no, because it's about like the APC support the highest vote. No. How? Thank you very much.
But in a swift reaction, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), through its National Commissioner in charge of Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, distanced itself from the charade, describing it as null and void. INEC also raised alarm that its national commissioners for the exercise were afraid of being molested by certain interests. A video surfaced shortly, purportedly of the abducted national commissioners, with one of them identified as Professor Abdullahi Zuru, beaten and stripped naked by political thugs. As the confusion raged, a recorded video clip purportedly of the Adamawa governorship candidate of the APC Aisha Binani surfaced on the social media, allegedly making an acceptance speech.
Today, Adamawa stands tall on the threshold of history. My dear Adamawa State citizens and residents, I am overwhelmed and humbled by your show of love and confidence in electing me to serve as your governor as from May 29 this year and for the next 4 years.
While confusion and tension continue to mount, the governor, Umar Fintiri, addressed the citizens of the state, calling for calm in the face of what he called deliberate provocation. For now, collation of results for the Saturday's governorship rerun in Adamawa State has been suspended by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). The electoral umpire is also appealing to security agencies to guarantee the safety of its national officers drafted to the state, just as it directed the State Resident Electoral Commissioner to report to the INEC headquarters. Shapir Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Also, the Independent National Electoral Commission has vowed to punish officials of the commission who boycotted official protocol to announce the results of the Adamawa supplementary election. The INEC National Commissioner on Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, disclosed this while speaking to journalists in Birnin Kebbi. He said the perpetrators will be brought to book. He also assured that there will be no other supplementary poll after the supplementary elections in Adamawa State.
So he had no right whatsoever to go and make a declaration and also make a return when there have been results that have been warehoused and there have also been supplementary results that were ongoing. A national commissioner cannot be treated as if he or she is a common criminal. A former vice chancellor of Usman Danfodio University, a senior citizen, was stripped naked and dragged. This commission will not allow that to stand.
Still in politics, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has declared the All Progressives Congress candidate Akarachi Amadi, a 28-year-old, as the winner of Saturday's supplementary election for Mbaitoli, Ikeduru Federal Constituency. The APC candidate received the most votes according to the results announced by the Federal Constituency Returning Officer, Professor Boniface Okoro, at the Coalition Center for that district, which is located in Umoribi in Mbaitoli local government area. Okoro said that Uche Ogbuagu of the Labour Party, Amadi's closest competitor, received 18,296 votes, below Amadi's 21,372 total votes. Henry Nwawuba, the incumbent and candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, received 7,202 votes. Usman Ukanacho, candidate of the People's Democratic Party, received 6,681 votes. Chinonso Uba, candidate of the African Democratic Congress, received 4,100 votes. And God's Time Chukwubuikem, candidate of the Social Democratic Party, received 246 votes. Still in politics, Senator Dino Melaye has emerged the People's Democratic Party candidate for the November 11 governorship election in Kogi State. Melaye defeated other aspirants in the keenly contested primary election. He polled over 313 votes to beat his closest rival, Barrister Kabiru Usman, who had 124 votes. The primary election went on smoothly with the supervision of the Independent National Electoral Commission personnel. Dino Melaye is a Nigerian politician and a former senator, and was a senator of the 8th Nigerian National Assembly, representing Kogi West Senatorial District. He is from Ayetoro Gbede in Ijumu local government area of Kogi State. And away from politics, strike unions in the aviation industry who have blocked all access roads to the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, have finally reopened a section of the road to allow vehicular movement. Motorists have been trapped at Airport Road since morning when members of the union blocked the access roads. Many passengers who had flights to catch were seen trekking to the airport with their luggage. The protest over non-implementation of their condition of service and the planned demolition of office complexes of aviation agencies has paralyzed activities in Lagos as the gridlock which built up from the airport stretches to other parts of Ikeja metropolis. The ever-busy Ikeja Underbridge axis was shut to traffic as many vehicles were stuck in one place for hours. Those who managed to get to Ikeja Underbridge GRA Annex had to turn back. As of the time of filing this report, the unions have opened a section of the road to allow vehicular movement along the airport road. General Secretary of the Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Comrade Francis Akinjole, said the unions would continue to protest but open a section of the road in sympathy with the stranded motorists.
It's enough for us to aggravate this. For because of what we are in the aviation industry, we have enough decorum to face every challenge. We are very, very simple, but we can be rascal if we are subjected to that. We demand unequivocally that the case of that journalist must not be arrested. We are going to follow it up. We are going to follow it up. He was slapped by a policeman. He was taken to this police station, detained. He was bruised. His camera was destroyed. For the main reason that they allege that he took their picture.
Still on the protest, Trust TV's Victoria Tokolo now joins in to give us updates. Hello, Victoria. Tell us what's going on.
An update from the ongoing strike at the airport. Nigerian aviation workers has commenced 2-day strike warning with a protest today, beginning from today, Monday. The workers blocked the road leading to Murtala Mohammed International Airport and all the airports in Lagos State. However, the development has left a lot of passengers stranded, and also security agency stopped journalists from capturing the incident and even capturing them, as Daily Trust journalist was being slapped and his camera being destroyed as he was detained at the police post at the airport.
Thank you very much, Victoria. We'll touch base with you later as events unfold. Now to security. Vigilante Group of Nigeria has sought support of residents of various communities across the country in efforts to tackle insecurity in their respective areas. The VGN Commander General, Dr. Usman Jahun, said support and involvement of residents of communities would place security operatives in positions of advantage to combat criminality. He spoke in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, during a screening exercise of VGN officers across the southwest state. The VGN Commander General said the organization is aware that some people are hiring gunmen from outside the country to build criminal businesses. He, however, said the missing link in security planning in the country would be addressed as soon as President Muhammadu Buhari signs VGN bill into law, which would empower operatives to provide security at community level and in the forest. Also, residents of Abidogun community in Omiadio, Ibadan have appealed to the Oyo State government to rescue them from the activities of land grabbers which had begun to threaten the peaceful coexistence in the community. The Jesha residents in Abidogun community made the appeal during a peaceful protest in the community. Take a look.
The residents accused Juan Yakini Lasisi of leading the land grabber syndicate currently threatening the peace of the community. Speaking with journalists during the protest, an elderly man, Bamidele Ademorati, explained that he was born and bred in the community, noting that the land currently being encroached upon by land grabbers had been rightly occupied by his forefathers for decades. He argued that over the years, a tenant who had claimed ownership of some portions of the land had been taken to court, with 2 court judgments obtained in favor of the Ijesha people.
We were invited, we were called, and that is why we were here, just to let people know that both left and right belong to Ijesha community. If you observe this environment, this front, our father told us that the Oyo people said Ijesha people are honor. If war should come to this village by that time, he will first of all attack Ijesha before attacking the Ibadans. So the Ibadan people settle at the inner there, while Ijesha people settle at the entrance. Now that Ijesha settle at the entrance, and the entrance has become a Buddhist place now, he's now arose and said he wanted to start selling all those land, which we believe is ambiguous. It's appalling. It's not a welcome development. And we are not a troublemaker.
Another resident, Isaac Obembe, said, as law-abiding people, the Ijesha residents had consulted with necessary stakeholders and have equally cautioned their children not to resort to violence with the land grabbers while urgently expecting the law to take its course. Most Ijesha youths in the community who carried placards bearing various inscriptions also pledged not to engage the land grabbers in any form of violence, but would rather be law-abiding in pursuing the cause of justice.
Away from Oyo State and now to Lagos, where the State and Fire and Rescue Service has confirmed a fire outbreak at Queen's College in Yaba area of Lagos State. In a statement made available on Sunday evening, the director of the service, Margaret Adesheye, said the fire started in a 2-room quarter located behind the school staff quarters. Adesheye, however, said there was no casualty in the incident, adding that men of the State Fire Service quickly put out the fire. You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Still to come. We'll take a look at where Sultan Attahiru made his last stand. This and more when we return. Stay with us.
Good morning, Nigeria. Year after year, they have informed, educated, and entertained us. When you needed information, knowledge, or an escape.
From generation to generation, the Nigerian broadcasting industry has worked tirelessly to serve you.
This November, broadcasters all over Nigeria will gather for the maiden edition of the Nigerian Broadcasting Awards, an award ceremony set to reward hard work and unflinching excellence in the broadcast media. They have served and are still serving. It's time to say thank you. This award is organized by the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, BON. For more details, log on to www.tnbawards.ng and follow our social media handles at TNB Awards.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, you're watching News Update on Trust TV. Now recap of some of our major stories. Controversy trails declaration and invalidation of Binani's victory announcement. Also, INEC declares 28-year-old Akarachi Amadi winner of Mbaitoli Ikeduru Reps election. Moving on to more stories, His Royal Majesty Ogiame Atuashe III has installed Chief Omar Eyewoma as the new Prime Minister of Warri Kingdom. It was gathered that the title was conferred to Chief Omar Eyewoma on Sunday by the royal father at his palace in Warri before the Shekiri sons and daughters from all walks of life and corners of the realm, who converged on the Agofen at the instance of a General Assembly summoned by His Majesty Ogiame Atuashe III. The occasion being the installation of Chief Omar as the Ologboshere of Warri Kingdom is an all-important meeting by the monarch for a briefing on the state of the Shekiri nation. Preceding the event, His Majesty had in what can be likened to a homily spoken to his subjects on several matters that had previously served as a limitation to the unity and growth of the kingdom. In his speech, His Majesty offered forgiveness to erring subjects, stating that he remains father to all. Also, it's 120 years since the killing of the 12th Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Attahiru, by the British colonial forces in 1903 at Mbormi village. Sultan Attahiru, who resisted the British colonial government, was on a journey to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia when the colonial troops fought him at Mbormi. Over a century after the war, Mbormi is now a ghost town harboring only the tomb of Sultan Attahiru, the chief imam of Sokoto, and a British commander, Major Francis Charles Marsh. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail, who was at Mbormi, examines the historical significance of the battlefield. Take a look.
Located in Funakai local government area of Gombe State, Mbormi is over 76 kilometers away from the capital, Gombe. Mbormi, which was founded by warrior Modibo Jibril Lagaini, was renowned for resistance against the British colonial forces. It had defensive trenches and walls which strengthened its army against their enemies in the 20th century. According to historians, the war between Attahiru and the British ensued when the Sultan revoked an agreement entered into by his predecessor, which granted the British Royal Niger Company a right to conduct business within and around the Sokoto Caliphate.
Some said that, okay, the Caliph should stay behind and scum or submit himself to the British forces, while the Caliph on his part decided that he will just embark on Hijrah in tandem with the opinion or the what his grandparents predicted, particularly Usman bin Fodio. So he decided to embark on Hijrah. He preferred to embark on Hijrah actually than to scum or submit to British forces. So he embarked on this Hijrah, and it took him about a month to even reach Bormi.
Sultan Attahiru, the Caliphate chief imam, and the British commander, Major Francis Charles Marsh, were buried in the battlefield of Bormi.
all your ears could hear here at Bormi is sound of birth. It is here that in 1903 the British fought led Sultan At-Tahiru Muhammad of the Sokoto Caliphate, where he was killed, and over 600 of his supporters were also killed during a fight that shows the stance of the Sokoto Caliphate against the British colonial masters.
After the war, the British forces banned locals from erecting structures or settlements in Bormi village. It was turned into farmlands for people of neighboring villages like Garing Abba and Bulagaidam. Bulagaidam village is the biggest village, barely a kilometer from Bormi. It was established after the Battle of At-Tahiru and the British in 1903. Abdullahi Ali is 85 years old. He was raised in Bulagaidam and was told the history of Bormi by his ancestors. The British forces warned Gombe Emirates not to allow anyone erect structures in Bormi. They also warned traditional rulers in Ashaka and Bulagaidam to enforce the order because they are closer to the place. They should not allow even Fulani herders to erect temporary huts.
Bulagaidam, kuna kusa da wurin. Kada ku bari ai ko buka a cikin Bormi.
After some years, an unknown person built a hut at Bormi. He wrote a letter claiming he is the Mahdi. The letter was handed over to me. I declined to read because of the content. The traditional ruler of Ashaka ordered the village head of Bulagaidam to burn the hut, and he did.
Ya lega a ciki wasiƙa a rubuce a ciki, sai ɗaukar ya kawo mini a ni ya kawo ma, da na duba nace wani wasiƙan ya fi ƙarfi na ba zan iya karanta ba, tunda mutumin shi ya ce shi wai shi Mahadi ne.
Kadalan yara ƙananan nan kan ba wanda ya san wani yawa cikin Bormi.
The youth don't know anything about the history of Bormi. The village is now our farmlands, and all of us cultivate annually.
The battle that took place at least less than 12 hours, but it led to the demise of about 20,000 people. So the situation, the town is deserted, but you have the tomb maybe neglected somehow, because if you look at various explanations or sources or researches carried out on that particular place, it shows that even though it has been proposed as one of the world Islamic sites alongside other places in Nigeria, nothing tangible is yet to be done.
It was gathered that descendants of late Sultan At-Tahiru and that of British commander Major Francis Charles visited the tombs at the same time decades ago. However, the two bereaved families did not exchange pleasantries, which was interpreted by scholars to mean that both sides are still at loggerheads over a battle that took place 120 years ago.
The traditional institutions that had tremendous powers, absolute powers, have been reduced to mere robustum, and this impact is a recurring thing now.
Although Sultan At-Tahiru was defeated by the British, but he will always be remembered for his strong stance for an independent caliphate and his defiance against the British colonial masters in the 20th century. From Bormi battleground, Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News.
Quite interesting sights from there. Now, away from Nigeria, explosions have rocked the Sudanese capital, Khartoum, on Monday, and nearly 100 people, including women and children, have been killed as fighting between the Sudanese army and paramilitary group Rapid Support Forces rage for a third day. The clashes are part of a power struggle between Army Chief General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, the head of the RSF group. The two generals are former allies who jointly orchestrated an October 2021 military coup which halted Sudan's transition process to democratic rule and elections. United States Secretary of State Anthony Blinken on Monday joined regional efforts to pressure the warring sides to end the fighting and return to talks as the civilian death toll rose to 79. The two sides agreed to a 3-hour pause in fighting from 4 p.m. local time on Saturday to allow humanitarian evacuation proposed by the United Nations. And in Uganda, authorities in Busoga East have launched an investigation into the tragic suicide of Kizile Buladina, a 99-year-old resident of Kimanyilo village in Ivukula sub-county, Namutumba district. Buladina was found dead in her home, having hanged herself using a waistband tied to a rafter. Buladina, who had lost all her relatives, had minders in her community who ensured she had access to meals and other necessities. Despite appearing happy and exchanging pleasantries with visitors, it seems she was silently struggling with personal difficulties that led her to take such a drastic step. Buladina was known in her community as an open-minded elder who offered counsel to both the young and old, sharing wisdom from ancient times. Her home was a popular gathering place, and her passing has left many deeply saddened. In honor of her legacy, the community has come together to provide her with a dignified burial. According to Diana Mandaula, the Busoga East police spokesperson, the autopsy will be conducted at Ivukula Health Center 3 mortuary, and Buladina's body will be handed over to the community for burial. And with that, we've come to the end of News Update at this hour. Do well to follow us across all our media platforms. I'm Sagir Ibrahim. Thanks for watching.